The Ackermans are Jews. In this video, I will go on to argue how the Ackermans are the Jews in the world of Attack on Titan. This video will be in keeping with one of my previous videos called Eren Yeager is Adolf Hitler, where I go on to argue how Eldia is indeed Germany, thus Eldians are Germans. And I would like to begin this video by actually looking at the last name Ackerman itself. As you can see here, is actually a last name predominant amongst Ashkenazi Jews. Now, if you're not aware of what Ashkenazi Jews are, they're the group of Jews that are from Europe, because there's two groups of Jews. And with the Ashkenazi Jews, like most of them have European last names. Because I see how some arguments is like, well, the Ackermans are not Jews because the Ackerman last name itself is not Jewish. But it is totally common for like any ethnic group to adopt the last name of a different culture. And this was especially the case amongst the Ashkenazi Jews in these European cultures. And continuing by looking at the names, though I can't do anything with Mikasa because it's Japanese. When it comes to Levi's name, that too is a Hebrew name, since the name Levi comes from one of the 12 tribes of Israel. Now, shifting over from names to the history of the Ackermans and the Jews, I want to begin by looking at the persecution of the Ackermans by King Karl Fritz. So we could take a World War II route in comparing Karl Fritz to Adolf Hitler, but I actually think it'll fit best if we took a medieval turn instead. Beginning with the Ackerman persecution, it is stated how the Ackermans were persecuted by the king along with the Oriental clan because the king could not control them. And I believe this can actually be compared to Christian and Jewish relations in medieval Europe. For during this time, the church and state were heavily tied. You cannot achieve certain political stances unless you were Christian. And many of their laws were therefore of Christian origin. So when it came to laws such as, like, if you don't follow this, you'll go to purgatory, or this is by rule of the Pope, the truth of the matter is it won't really faze the Jew because they don't believe the Pope had authority to pass such a law, or that they're going to purgatory because they don't believe in purgatory. So just as the Ackermans are feared by the king because the king can't control them like he can with other Eldians, so it was also true that the Jews were feared by the Christians because they could not be controlled by their Christian laws and practices. So in response, both of the powers, for the Ackermans, that would be the king, and for the Jews, that would be the European king and Pope, they will persecute the people. Now, this also led to them pushing these people into the outskirts or the crappy places of their nations. And fun fact, the term ghetto actually comes from Italy, where the Italians will push the Jews into the crappy places of Italy, hence the term ghetto. Another thing I would like to look at is how the Ackermans were used by the king at some point. I believe this can be compared to when Christians would use Jews to bypass certain Christian laws. For when bankers were starting to rise into power, such as the more famous ones like the Medici, the church passed a law through the state that one cannot charge usury to another Christian. Now, to bypass this, the Christian loaners would simply hire a Jew to collect the loan plus usury, which is interest, for them. It's also not out of the ordinary to have a Jewish leader basically follow or do something for the church or the Pope in order to have their people come into Europe with a safe haven, most likely due to war between the Middle East and Europe. This in itself can be compared to when the leader of the Ackermans gives himself up and Kenny Ackerman agrees to work alongside the king, which in turn led to the end of the Ackerman persecution. Now, the final comparison I want to make is between the origins of the Ackermans and the Jews. Beginning with the Ackermans, it is explained that the Ackermans were Eldians who were chosen by the king to experiment on to see if they can unlock the Titan abilities without actually transforming into a Titan, which I believe is reminiscent of the origin story of the Jews, which is that the Israelites, known as the time, were chosen by God as a chosen people. So we could see in both these instances that both parties are a chosen people. Something else I wanted to add that I honestly forgot to add is that due to these persecutions, many Ackermans, along with the Oriental family, didn't tell their descendants of the truth about there being another world outside of Paradise Island. And I believe this can be actually compared to World War II Jewish refugees. For some of the Jewish refugees, after coming to either the States or other parts of Europe from Germany or Poland and such, actually discarded their Jewish identity because of what had happened to them. Thank you for checking out my video, and as you can see, I have a new art piece up, which I hope you guys like. I would definitely love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below, and if you really enjoyed this video, I would highly recommend you check out my video on Eren Yeager is Adolf Hitler. Thank you, and have a great day, week, month, year, decade. Bye!